Welcome to Wayne's Weird World. It's getting a bit crowded over in this corner. Wow. Let's sit down. Here we go. Delicatum. Apple blossom. Let me get down a little bit so we can turn this thing around. Yes, I do divide them occasionally, but I like them as specimens. Yeah, they get a bit big. As long as I can move them, as long as I can pick them up and move them around, I'm happy. Now, I'm not sure which of the ones, let's get that out of the way, which of the ones I had featured in another video, but was one of these that I had divided, and one of my viewers was mentioning that they had gotten one from their grandmother. Yeah, it's finishing flowering, and what to do, and they didn't really feel very comfortable. I just rip into it. And if they have a good root system, yeah, they're starting to creep and crawl out. Have a look at this thing. This is actually a division off of this one, this big apple blossom. And since I put it on this driftwood mount, it's grown a couple new growths, put out a couple flower spikes. And if I can stand up and get close enough to the camera, you can see how it's putting out nice, healthy roots. So it's coming along really well. I'm very pleased. Problem with driftwood mounts or any kind of mount, they dry out more quickly. So they need watering more often. But you also don't have to worry so much about overwatering, where when they do, they need to be able to drain, which is why the larger the orchid, the coarser the size of your potting mix. You don't want fine material that's going to stay wet and saturated. They need to drain. The roots need to breathe. They're either terrestrials, which these are not, lithophytes growing on rocks and fallen trees, or epiphytes. And the delicatum is sort of between a lithophyte and an epiphyte. They grow on whatever they can. Branches, forks in trees, stumps, rocky outcrops. One of the weird, wonderful Australian natives. Well, that's it. Apple blossom, Dendrobium delicatum. Nearly a pure white. Now, I'm not quite certain what cultivar this one is. Smaller flowers, quite nice. This apple blossom, and I think this one behind me might be apple blossom as well. You can see the size of this thing. They're not easy to move around, but if you have a place for them, they're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. Anyway, that's it. Wayne's Weird World. See you next time. Try and get out of this mess. It's a bit crowded. You can't be claustrophobic if you're moving around here. See ya.